Hey y'all, my name is Suzy Logan and I am with Suziness Designs. I am a surface pattern designer and I also create digital brushes for Procreate. They are my magical color changing texture brushes. And I sell those brushes on Suziness.com if you want to check that out. And today I am here to show you how to create an Easter plaid using my Happy Hearts brush. The people in my VIP group are receiving that brush today in the newsletter. So if you're not a VIP member, you should sign up. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Let's Color with Suzy. And today we are going to use my Happy Hearts. Okay, let's get started. We're going to click on the brush menu up in the right-hand corner of the screen. And under that, you're going to see the Suziness Happy Hearts and the Happy Hearts Up. You're going to select the Happy Hearts Up brush. That keeps the hearts in an upright orientation. That's why I have two brushes, because I wanted you to be able to draw it and have your hearts up, standing straight up. And I wanted you to be able to also change it over to the Happy Hearts Follow and have the hearts follow the line as you drew. So that's why you have two of them. One keeps it straight up and the one follows it. And as you draw from left to right, they go straight up. As you go from left to right to left, they go upside down. So that's another interesting thing about them. A couple of things to note: make sure that you experiment with the size of my brush. They are affected by pressure also. But also, sometimes changing the color of the brush changes the way it reacts, but sometimes changing the color of the brush doesn't affect it because my brushes automatically generate colors. But sometimes those colors are affected by the color that you selected. Like if you select something that has more white in it, it might make my brush have more white in the colors that it selects. Or if you select a color that's more black, it will do the other thing. So just a couple of things to note. Also, pressure sometimes affects the colors. So that's just one more thing to know about these brushes, but they're really fun to use. They've got some nice little chalky texture. I love texture. I am a texture person. I go around taking pictures of dirt and tree bark and stuff, just all kinds of things. Anytime I see like weird paint and rust and all that kind of stuff, I love taking pictures of that kind of stuff because I love incorporating that kind of thing into my brushes. So I just have a thing for texture. I don't know what it is, but like I've developed a new set recently called my Impressionist brushes. Those are now for sale out there. Those brushes, I just love the feel of those. This is on white. That's why it looks so weird. Okay. So, see, I just love this brush. I love this brush. You see the texture? I just love that. It's kind of like, almost like it shines, but it's called broken color when you have, that's what, like impressionism where they use multiple colors together that look like, fool the eye and it looks like more like a solid color, but it's lots of different colors. That's what the broken color is. So anyway, I've got these brushes that create like broken color and have that impressionist look. Brown, let's do a yellow. Yeah, and that gold. Isn't that gorgeous? I just love it. I just really have a thing for, I have a thing for texture. I just love it, man. I'm almost drooling. I'm serious. I'm almost drooling. Anyway, I'm gonna put these back down the middle. Let me have ADHD. I've gotta focus. You ready? Okay, here we go, guys. Here's my Happy Hearts Up. Okay, see right here, and see, depending on how much pressure I put, it's gonna change the size of these things, okay? And so I am just gonna, that's all I want you to do to begin with, is I want you to, like in the very middle of the page, draw a line or two. Okay. So here we go. Until you get the colors that you want. Okay. So anyway, I'm just gonna, nice. Okay. Okay, here we go. You ready? It really doesn't matter at all. Okay, so what we're gonna do is now is we're gonna hit the arrow key, okay? And see this little box that it's drawn around our hearts? I'm gonna click that little center dot right at the top, and it has our dimensions. This little little chain right here, little chain keeps our design proportional, whatever. And so if we change these numbers and you have that pressed down, it's gonna keep this in that same rectangular shape. It's just gonna proportionally enlarge it. I don't want it to do that. I'm taking it off the proportional. And see the 917 pixels, that's the width right here, the little short side. So we're wanting to change that. I'm gonna tell it the biggest number I can tell it to stretch it. It won't let me do much more than 16,384 is the top. I always type in 16,000 and it's good enough, you know. So 16,384, it stretched it, okay? And after I stretched that, what I liked about that, let me undo that real quick. Okay, you see these little hearts and stuff, and you see how it's got like a little hint of blue around the top of this pink heart, okay? And a little bit of red and green and yellow above that. But when I stretch those, you see what it does? It ends up making thin lines with the out rim, and it makes fatter bands with the other. Well, I like to do that. Sometimes I'm gonna make it double. I'm gonna duplicate this layer. Coming over here to the layers menu and swiping to the right and clicking on duplicate. Now I'm gonna deselect the one underneath it. I wanna keep the first one just because I just wanna keep that, but I wanna show you what I like to do. If you want to make a plaid that is a repeating plaid, like a seamless repeat, you'd have to stretch this out enough to where it ends up straightening out completely straight. But it's not gonna look as painterly, and it's gonna look a little more digitized, but you can keep on stretching them. Oops, see what it did? It enlarged it instead of stretching it. So I need to take off that and then change this to 16,000 again. And it stretched it out. But even though it's close to where it would meet, if I tested this in a pattern repeat, the left would not meet up with the right. So there is a way to make that happen. What I'll do sometimes is I'll make this like 50%. What you can do is you can do it like 50% like this, and then you can duplicate that layer and then flip it horizontally. And if I merge those two together, then I wasn't even planning on taking it over here to the, I wasn't planning on I'm not gonna take it the repeat. I'm not gonna test it right now. But if I took this to test it and repeat, it would be a closer match. It still doesn't look like it's quite matching up. It looks a little bit different on the sides. I'm not sure why it didn't, that is a thing I like to do though. If I multiplied it. Okay. This is something I really love to do with my layers. I really love to play with the layer setting. It's my favorite thing to do in Procreate, I think, because I get so many cool effects from that. I'm sorry, I'm ADHD and getting off the off the beaten path. Let me duplicate my original layer again. Okay, I am just going to duplicate it one more time. And instead of stretching it like I was stretching it before, I'm gonna do this as a more painterly kind of look. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna click my arrow and I'm gonna rotate it. And then I'm gonna change the layer. If I take it to multiply, I get this is the kind of effect. So it's just multiplying, it's just concentrating the colors. It's just making them stronger. You can play around with the opacity on that if you want to use multiply. I like to try all the different things, and the only way you learn about these is really by using them over and over. I could tell you a little bit about these. The best way to learn them is to play with them. I will tell you like about lighter color. I like to use lighter color and darker color a lot, because what lighter color does is it takes this whole page looks at every pixel on this entire page, okay? Looks at every pixel, and it looks at the layer that's behind it. See, this layer is behind it. This layer's on top. It compares the top layer to the bottom layer, and it says, okay, is this pixel right here, this yellow on the bottom, or is this green on the top? Which one is the lighter color? So if I choose lighter color, it says, okay, yellow is the lighter color. Yellow is lighter than green. Okay, and then if you look, okay, see how it's a big band of yellow at the top, and okay, on the bottom layer, it's a big band of yellow. And let's go back to the top layer and look at it. Normal. And you see this pink right here, this stronger pink right here. If I take this and I tell it lighter color right here, is the yellow the stronger color or the pink? Which is the lighter color, the yellow or the pink? It thinks the yellow is the lighter color. So it's not even showing that pink. Okay. Then when it goes down to, go back to normal. Okay, so this whole stripe down here at the top is pink. So if we change it to lighter color, which areas are showing up as the pink? Change it to lighter color. Okay, you ready? So here, yellows and the light green and the green are lighter than this color pink. So they are showing up at the top. You see how those horizontal bands are showing up? Down here toward the bottom, pink is showing up. It thinks it's the lighter between the purple and the pink. It says the pink is the lighter color. Pink is lighter than the purple, and the pink is lighter than the blue. See how it's covering it up? Because lighter color. So that's what that does. But you'll also notice there's a lighten thing, okay? And what lighten does the same kind of thing, but it also compares the makeup of the color. And I'm using CMYK colors and not RGB. RGB are going to be more intense, and you're going to get really cool, bright, concentrated colors with RGB. Typically, like if you're printing on your home printer, you're not going to want to use RGB because RGB is not going to print the way that it looks on the screen. It's going to print completely different. So you really want to use things that are designed for CMYK if you're printing on your printer at home, for the most part, at least in my experience. But this is what it looks like the light does. See how the light does compared to lighter color. Now, what's different about that? Lighter color versus lighten. Look at the lighter color. What colors do you see here? We see all the colors in my original design, right? Yellow, blues, the purples, pinks, and the greens, right? That's on lighter color. I'm gonna duplicate it. I need to check that. I'm gonna change this to lighten. Notice this one. This one has it has the colors that I started off with, but it also has some other colors that I didn't necessarily have in my original design. Look at some of the lighter colors that are showing up, like the pale yellows. It's mixing colors. The thing is about this, if you are a designer and you have a limit of like 4 colors or 6 colors you're allowed to use, and you've used your 6 colors in your original design, and you have to stick with that palette, then you're gonna want to use a lighter color when you're doing this kind of thing, not lighten. Because lighten, what it does is it takes the top layer and the bottom layer, and it actually looks a color wheel. It takes like this color, this orangey corally color, okay, and it looks at the values, and here's the CMYK at the bottom. It looks at this and it compares it to the color that's on, it takes the one on top and compares it to the one that's on bottom. And when it's doing that, let me take it back to normal. Okay, so it takes like this color, like this aqua color, and it takes like, let's say it was sitting on top of this blue, and it takes this blue color. Okay, here, let me add these as a palette and show you what I'm talking about. So it takes the blue color. Let's add back the other one real quick. And it takes this color. It takes these two colors, and if you look at these colors, look on the values right here, look at CMYK. It looks at the CMYK, and we are on normal, right? Okay, good. Okay, so it looks at so this blue color, 69 for the C, and then it takes this one, and it looks, and it compares it with this other color. And you remember how it was doing the lighter color? I want to see if this is exact. I don't know if this is accurate, how it calculates, but I think it's going to calculate like this. I don't know exactly how it works, but this is the gist of what it does. It's comparing the cyan, which is what the C stands for. Cyan 69, and the cyan is 41. 69, 41. Okay. And the magenta is 49 for this one, and the sea glass color is 0 for this one for magenta, and then for yellow is 0 for the blue, and K is black. So K black is 0, and Y is 35 for the other color, for the sea glass, and it is 0 for the other thing. So the numbers we have are 6941, 490, 035, and 00. So since we're doing lighter color, I'm thinking what it's going to do is going to use 41 for the cyan. It's going to use the lower color. It's going to use the 0 for the 0 for the magenta, and then it's going to use 0 for the yellow because it's pulling that from the other blue color. And then it's going to use 0 because both of the bottom things both had 0 black in it. So my guess, it's going to change it to 4100. Let's test this theory. I'm not sure if that's going to be what happens or not, but we'll see. So I'm going to tell it to lighten, okay? And then we're going to take eyedropper and grab the color, and then we're going to look at it. Lighten. Okay, so let me test it again where it is. Okay, so you can kind of see where it's overlapping. Oh, I hope I grabbed the right spot of color. I want to make sure I'm grabbing a spot that had that. Okay, so roughly I'm gonna try to grab a place that has this color blue. I hope I grabbed the right blue. Let me pick that color again. See if I can and figure out which one it's talking, kind of which one it is. Is this the same color? Yeah, that's pretty good. Right in here. It's real close. It's a little bit off, but it should be probably about the same thing. Okay, so again, let's put this on lighten. And when we did lighten, now we're getting these colors. So I'm gonna grab this color, and now I'm gonna go put it over here, and we're gonna see it. I'm guessing it's gonna be 41000 is what I'm thinking this color is gonna be that I add. You ready? Oh no, or is it not? Here's the right one, lighten. Maybe averaged them instead of, it did take it down. Is the yellow, okay, instead of doing 35, let's try another color in the same thing and see if it's closer. No, okay, so what I think it's doing is, I think it's just averaging the colors. I've heard about it doing an average on the others. So it's kind of taking an average of the lighter colors and doing the lightest colors. Anyway, it's weird. Anyway, so But anyway, it's using a different color though from our group of original colors. It's adding some colors in here that aren't, even there, though the hues are very similar, the actual color is different. So if you were limited to like a 4-color or 6-color palette, you would want to use your lighter color for that instead of using Lighten, because Lighten's going to throw some new colors in there. See how it's throwing the light blues and all that in there? But it makes a really pretty, isn't that a pretty little plaid that we just made? Isn't that pretty? I love it. I think it's really pretty. I'd totally use it on an Easter card. If I was a maker, I would totally do it. I have such a hard time making myself make things. It's just, I just get into my iPad, and I'm actually a painter too. And I think the thing is, I'm ruined, y'all. I'm just ruined because I learned that I could draw on my iPad and not have to clean up any messes and not deal with oil, paints, and spirits and all that. And so anyway, so I really like to design things. But I would really, I would just love if I could see something somebody would make with my things. I'm selling things. People are buying my papers on this and my cut files and stuff on the Silhouette store. And I'm seeing all these people buy these things, but I'm not getting to see what they make, and it just hurts. I just really want to see what you make because I'm not a maker. And I would just really love to see it. Anyway, but that's how you can create a plaid, by playing with the layers like this. I'm going to duplicate one more time and rotate it on that, and then rotate. I hope I didn't confuse you guys by doing it the way I did. So I rotated 45 degrees twice, and then now I'm just going to play with these. See the other kind of looks? You can get interesting looks. Just playing with the different, all of the different layers options. See, and I even like some of these darker. I like that purple and aqua kind of. I love these colors. This is Exclusion. It does something like, oh shoot, I hope these are working. I bet they're not. The Exclusion, it like does something with inverting and then subtracting or something weird like that. So anyway, I think it's really cool though. I love the look. Here's something else I like to do with my designs. I like to add another layer. I told you I like texture. And you choose white, and I like to come over here to like my Suzy textures. I've got some like little like a linen kind of texture I like to throw on it, and I don't leave it straight out white like that. What I like to do is I like to play with the layers on this and play with different things like overlayer, things like that. And I like that overlay texture, and I can dial it back by changing the transparency a little bit on it. I like to dial it back and make it a little more subtle, you know. And here's what it looks like without it, but there's how it looks with it. I like it because it just gives it that fabric kind of, makes it more real. I like things to look more real and less digital. I love digital. I like things to have that real look to them too. So that's something I really like to do. And sometimes I'll even do this. I'll even, like if I have a layer, sometimes I'll duplicate that if I want it to be stronger, you know, duplicate to make it strong. You know, you can do it like that. Or sometimes if I want to change it up a little bit, I'll rotate it, make it a little bit different. And another thing is, if I rotate it, like, see, this is at an angle. You can change the direction and it gives it a different look. See, it's just, it's not gonna be for everybody, but I love texture. I just love texture. Also, like, let me show you something else. Let's go back up there, my impression things. Let's go back to like the, let's see, let's just choose like the variety thing. Let's just color. Ooh, isn't that pretty? Look at that texture on top of it. That's using overlay on top of it. Isn't that cool? And it's changing up colors. That's why it's looking different. Ooh, isn't that texture cool? Love texture, man. And see, you can just play with, this is what I do all day. Sit here and play with, if I create something and a texture or something, then I'll sit there and mess with it and see, what does it do if I do this? If I change this to difference, you know, or if I change this to vivid light or whatever, you know, I like to see what it does. Well, if you're a VIP and you have this brush, I hope you guys have fun playing with it. And if you don't, I hope you sign up to be a VIP. And I hope you'll check out my Suziness.com website where you can see my brushes out there that I have out there for Procreate. And also, you know, if you're not on my VIP list, be sure to sign up so that you can get fun stuff when I do get around to sending out emails. And the nice thing is I'm not a spammer and I don't send out lots of emails. So, you know, you're on my email list, but you won't get hounded, I promise, because I'm really bad about sending out emails. But I do send out fun stuff when I do. And check me out in the Silhouette Design Store.